This is the epic saga of the Dutch-Portuguese War, a conflict so profound and riveting its echoes can still be heard centuries later. A clash of these two empires shook the world. Countries like Spain, England, France, America, Brazil, and the whole region of Southeast Asia were all caught in the crossfire. But what exactly drove elite empires to engage in this fierce struggle? A complex web of goals, contests, and rivalries vying for world dominance was the only leading power. This was the era of two mighty empires, fierce battles, and global supremacy struggles on the high seas. A time when ships sailed into uncharted territories, carrying not only precious cargo, but also the yearning desires and zeal of an entire nation. Join us as we navigate the treacherous waters of the Dutch-Portuguese War, exploring the strategies, alliances, and betrayals that unfolded on the grand stage of global power struggles. Let's start with the tale of Dutch and Portuguese territories expanding boundaries with audacity and vision, forging new frontiers. In the 17th century, an era of global exploration began as European powers sought to establish lucrative trade routes and amass incredible wealth. The Dutch and Portuguese were no exceptions. They both had their eyes set on controlling the spice trade, the lifeblood of their empires. Can you believe that this fierce competition took place across oceans, on distant shores that many had never even heard of? The Dutch and Portuguese navigated uncharted waters, braving treacherous storms and unknown dangers. Talk about adventurous souls. Their ships travelled great distances while transporting not only priceless cargo, but also the aspirations of the whole nation. Now the question arises, what was so important to drive them to unleash ferocious fury in the battle? The answer lies in the immense wealth that awaited those who could secure control over the lucrative spice trade, connecting Europe to the exotic lands of the East. It was a battle for supremacy in a world where economic power translated into political influence. And what exactly happened when these rival fleets clashed on the open seas? Well, these naval battles in the Indian Ocean and the East Indies were nothing short of spectacular. These conflicts were primarily driven by the Dutch Republic's desire to challenge Portuguese dominance in the region and establish its own maritime empire. It was a true test of strength and strategy. Who would triumph? The seasoned Portuguese or the unyielding Dutch? In the end, as the smoke cleared and the sea calmed, the Dutch East India Company emerged as a formidable opponent to the Portuguese, utilizing its well-organized fleet and superior naval tactics. They strategically targeted Portuguese strongholds in key trading ports such as Goa, Malacca, and Batavia, now Jakarta, aiming to undermine Portuguese control and expand their own influence. By the end of this period, the Dutch had effectively displaced the Portuguese as the dominant European power in the Indian Ocean and East Indies. The Dutch West India Company, hungry for sugar and colonies, set sail for America in 1621. They made their mark by capturing São Salvador da Bahia in 1624, but alas, a Spanish-Portuguese fleet snatched it back in 1625. The Dutch's American dreams couldn't match their Eastern triumphs. Meanwhile, as Portugal became independent of Spain in 1640, it marked a crucial turning point in the conflict. With their newfound unity and determination, the Portuguese forces were able to successfully reclaim their territories from the Dutch. But this fight was not over yet. The Dutch had gained control over valuable resources and trade routes in the region, but now they were dealt a significant blow. The Portuguese regained control, re-establishing their dominance and influence in Brazil. The Dutch sailed the waves and acknowledged Portugal's rule over Brazil. This significant gesture was enough to pay tribute to the Portuguese and their control over this valuable territory. But that's not all. The Dutch also returned captured territories in Africa and Asia, restoring a sense of balance and fairness. It was a moment of reconciliation where the passion and dedication of both sides finally led to a resolution. But the question remains, did this historical clash ignite your imagination and make you appreciate the brave sailors who ventured into the unknown? Personally, it reminds me of the adventurous spirit that lies within each of us. We may not command fleets or control vast empires, but we all have our own battles and dreams to pursue. History is more than just facts and dates. It shapes who we are and what we can achieve. If you enjoyed this video, Subscribe for more captivating history and share your anecdotes below.